Welcome to Raiders on the Record, the podcast featuring Hastings High School athletics. I'm Athletic Director Trent Hansen. My colleague Tim Hanneberg and I work together to bring you the stories of Raider sports. We are thrilled to share conversations with the athletes, coaches, and alumni that represent Raider Nation. Check back weekly and be sure to share this podcast with your friends in the Raiders Network.
Jon Watson is a 2022 Raider graduate. Jon moved to Hastings at the beginning of his 9th grade year and has played baseball and basketball during his time at HHS. Jon went from not making the basketball team during his 7th and 8th grade year to being voted the captain of the Hastings basketball team. Jon plans to major in mechanical engineering and has a deep advice for parents and coaches and urges them to focus on the heart of their athletes and notice the words they use. All right, here we are with Jon Watson. Jon, to get a little background information on you, we ask a couple icebreaker questions. So our first one is some of your favorite things. So let's hear about your favorite movie, your favorite food, your favorite artist, your favorite author, or your favorite time of the year.
All right, my favorite movie is Hacksaw Ridge. I love that movie. It's really good. Favorite food, any type of pasta. I love pasta, any type. And then time of year is Christmas time. So right now,
Nice.
perfect.
For sure. All right, next one. If you had to go to a beach or mountain, which one would you go to? Do you like sweet or salty foods? And do you like dogs or cats?
I think I like mountain the best. I used to live close to a beach, so I got enough of beaches. So mountains, I'd say sweet food, and then definitely dogs.
Nice. All right, last one then. 3 words that you think describe you.
I'd say hardworking, faithful, and resilient.
Awesome. So the first question here then is about your background, your parents, brothers or sisters. I know you moved to Hastings when you were in about 8th grade or 9th grade. So let's hear about where your family's originally from, how you guys got to Hastings, and then the rest of the stuff about your family as well.
Okay. I was born in Tennessee, so all of my family was born in Tennessee. I lived in Tennessee until I was about 2 years old, and then we moved to Texas and Lubbock, 5 years there. Then we went 5 years in Harlingen, Texas, which is right next to the Mexican border. And then we moved back to Tennessee in Chattanooga for 2 years, and then came to Hastings. The reason we did that is because my dad, he switched jobs quite a few times. He just different things in the manufacturing business, so that's the reason. Let's see. I have one sister, Jessica Watson. She's a medical student at Texas A&M right now, and we actually have her home. She's about to have her wedding, so we leave for that in a few days. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Other than that, my mom and my dad have been really big in my life. My mom's the nicest person you'll ever meet. She's really caring, really trustworthy. She taught me everything I know about being a good person. And then my dad, on the other hand, he's really hardworking. He's really loyal, and he's taught me everything about never giving up on a task once you started.
You guys moved around a lot. What do you think one of your favorite places was that you lived? Obviously, we know the answer is going to be Hastings here, but what about some of the other places that you lived, and which one? I'm sure they all had their ups and downs, but let's hear about that. Which one was your favorite?
I'd probably say Chattanooga. I like Chattanooga. It's really pretty city. It's actually called the Scenic City because it's like one of the nicest places to live. So I don't know. It's between Hastings and Chattanooga for sure. I like Chattanooga for the weather, but I got a bunch of friends here, so they'd probably beat out Chattanooga.
All right. So this is a sports podcast. We focus a lot about sports. So let's hear about your life growing up. What sports did you play at a young age? Did some phase out eventually? Did you get more interested in some at certain ages? So let's go all the way through youth to middle school, and then we'll stop at around 9th grade.
Okay. Well, I actually started gymnastics. I started gymnastics when I was 2 years old, somewhere around there, and I stopped when I was about 10. That was really important to me because it taught me a lot of lessons when I was young about hard work leading to success. So that really helped me out. While I was doing gymnastics, I also played a little bit of baseball, little league, t-ball. I stopped that at 2nd grade and then picked it back up tried out for the team in 7th grade, didn't make it. Tried out again in 8th grade, made the team there, and then I also made the team here in 9th grade. But then COVID hit. I kind of iffy. I stopped playing, and then I started playing year-round basketball. So my main sport now is basketball. I played that since 2nd grade, and that's been pretty steady. I've always played it. I did not make the basketball team in Chattanooga, both 7th and 8th grade, which is that was pretty hard. I'd say it taught me a lot though. I worked really hard over the summers before moving to Hastings, and then making the team in 9th grade was pretty big for me.
For sure. Yeah. So let's start up ninth grade. Talk about each year of basketball, any accomplishments that go along with each year, maybe how the team did, any captain's awards or anything like that as well.
Okay. Well, I played all 4 years. I played the I don't know what you said. I played 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th, and 12th for each of those teams. I wasn't really moved up any other teams. Um, 9th grade year was pretty rough. We we didn't do it too hot that year. We had all of our grade level together though. So this year is actually the first year we've had all of the seniors or all of our class together on the same team since 9th grade. So that's pretty cool. Um, 9th and 10th grade they were all right. They were really more learning experiences for me. We didn't do the best each season, but it's still fun to play. I'd say last year and this year are the most important though. Last year I played JV and got hurt in the middle of the season. I was playing a little bit of varsity and COVID made it iffy, but yeah, that was pretty tough getting hurt after playing a little bit of varsity. Um, but when I moved back down to JV, we played pretty well, I'd say. Um, Other than that, near the end of the year, I got the Hustle Award, and then I was named team captain the summer before this year. So now I'm team captain for the varsity team.
So talk about that improvement process though. So you went from playing a lot of JV 11th grade, just a tad a bit of varsity, and now you're the captain of the varsity team. So what went into that improvement process, making that huge jump from one year to the next?
Um, well, I did work. I worked pretty hard this summer. I don't know. I like the gym. I love being in the gym. I played a lot of pickup games this summer, and I was in the weight room a lot. Um, Other than that, I don't really know how to describe it. It just kind of like things started to click in place. Um, I always thought that I was doing pretty good for where I was at playing basketball, but I was held back, and I'm sure that's for a reason. But yeah, over each summer, I put up near 30,000 shots each summer, I think, and that definitely helped. My shooting's increased a ton since 9th grade, and besides that, just being in the weight room, getting stronger, getting bigger, that's really helped and showing up this year.
For sure. So you're in your 12th grade year right now. Talk about college as well, where you're looking, what your plans are after or during college and then after college as well.
Yeah, so right now, my primary plan is to get into the Air Force Academy. Well, not primary, but I'm really hoping to get into the Air Force Academy. But if that doesn't work, I'm also accepted to University of Alabama, University of Tennessee Knoxville, and Auburn. So no matter what, I have a backup plan for that. If whatever college I go to, I'm going to study mechanical engineering. That's the plan, and hopefully get a job in aeronautics. I want to focus on aeronautics within mechanical engineering.
So our AD, Mr. Hansen, he always asks the coaches, why do we coach? What's our main reasons for coaching? And a lot of questions that go around that as well. So flipping the question on you, John, why do you play sports? Why has sports been such an integral part of your life? And what does sports do in your life?
Um, well, sports have been big since I was a little kid. I've always played. Right now, I love basketball. That's why I've always played it. It's always been really fun to me. I've always loved being on part of a team. Besides that, I love having the energy in the gym. I love the practices. Like today, we got chewed out in practice day, and I loved it. It was awesome. Like I love it when we're pushed past our limits, and I love playing on a team where we all have the same goal. When we step on the court, we're together as a team. We got each other's backs, and especially this year because whatever happens this year, it's it. We don't get a second chance after this year, so everyone knows that everyone's really working 100%. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that kind of transitions in my next question, and what is the best or the most rewarding thing about being a high school athlete? So, what do you think that is? One of the best or most rewarding things about being a high school athlete?
Oh, there's quite a few. I'd say the best one for me has been the lessons learned. I mean, I've had a few rough years, I'm not making teams in middle school, not being pushed ahead on the basketball team. And it's taught me how to deal with adversity. It's taught me that no matter what happens, you have to believe in yourself. You always had to have confidence in your abilities. And then all the failures that you have throughout, just they teach you, they build you up, they make you stronger. Um, I'd say one story for that actually is the beginning of this year, we played South St. Paul at home, and everyone knew that it was gonna be a tough game. We went in there, we played really hard, and near the end, I made a mistake. I fouled someone when I shouldn't have, and it put them at the free throw line. They hit the shots, but it was pretty rough that night. I was pretty upset with myself, but a few people talked to me. They're like, "Well, now learn from this. You gotta believe in yourself. Don't stop believing in yourself." And yeah, rebounding. I think that's gonna be a good lesson for me.
Yeah, kind of similar question then. What do you think your favorite moment or experience has been as a high school athlete? So, just a little bit different than your most rewarding or your best experience. But what do you think your favorite moment has been so far being a high school athlete?
Um, I'd say last summer we were playing AAU basketball. We were in Iowa for a tournament, and we got a chance to play one of the best teams in Minnesota, Howard Pulley team, and that was a really fun game. Nobody thought we stood a chance in it, and we actually went in. We held them. It was a really close game, right up to the last second, and a kid hit four threes in a row and killed us. But it was
Mm,
a really fun game. I mean, we were flying across the court. The stands were packed. It was awesome. So I'd say that's probably my favorite experience.
nice. So another question that Mr. Hansen always likes to ask us coaches is how we define success. So flipping that around on you, John, and this doesn't have to be with sports; it could be in life as well. But once again, sports is a pretty big part of our lives too. So, how would you define success, or what does success mean to you?
Success, I'd say just working towards a goal and accomplishing, really you can apply it to sports, you can apply it to school, whatever, but if you work really hard for something, you get to see that success. You get to see that you actually accomplished what you were working for. I'd say that's what success means to me.
For sure. You played a bunch of sports growing up. You've been really focusing on basketball the last 4 or 5 years. Um, you've played for a lot of different coaches, so this question is pretty hard to nail down one person. But who do you think one of the best coaches you've played for is? Maybe someone that really taught you something that really applied to your life, something that you really hold dear to your life, or a skill or characteristic that you really try to apply every single day. So, who do you think that best coach is in your life?
The best coach that I'd say was actually not a basketball coach. He was my ninth grade baseball coach, Coach Mace, if you know him. He's a great guy. He coached me at a time when I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself. I still hadn't learned that part, and he taught me the value about remaining humble when you get a win. He always composed himself. He never really got mad at you unless you really deserved it. But there was one moment that season where we were playing a game. I don't remember who it was against, but someone threw a pitch. I missed the hit. I thought the umpire called a bad call the ball before, and I looked back at the umpire, and I don't know if I said something. I can't really remember, but when I got back, Mace got mad, and I did not know why he was mad, but I saw that look in his eye. I was like, oh, what did I do? So yeah, he got really mad, and he told me that we can't be doing that, especially as Hastings. You can't be doing that yourself. And after the game, I was walking back, and my parents got on me about it. They're like, "What were you doing? I can't believe you look at the umpire like that." So I actually went back, and I apologized to Mace, and Mace told me that you know that just me going back to talk to him showed what type of person I was. He told me that he was holding me to a higher standard, that he saw something, he made sure that I believed in myself. And I thought that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's an awesome story. Kind of similar question now, but now for teammates. So you've played a couple different sports growing up. Once again, basketball for the last 4 or 5 years here in town. So you've played with many different people out there, a lot of different teammates. Who do you think one of the best teammates you've played for or played with is? Maybe someone that it could be someone that really elevated your game, someone that put their arm around you when you're having a tough time, someone that you just looked up to and modeled their work ethic or anything like that too. So who do you think the best teammate is?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Um, hmm. I'd probably say maybe Axel. I'd say Axel. Axel's a really strong player. He's kind of like a rock. You can always count on him. He's always dependable. He'll always pick you up when you're down. So yeah, I'd probably say he's the most valuable teammate I've had.
Awesome. What about opponents? This is a pretty tricky question, or it's kind of funny too. Talking to a bunch of different people with different sports. A lot of the old timers here from Hastings alumni, they always bring up Park, huge rivalry game against Park. But then every sport is a little bit different too. So, who do you think that opponent is that you always look forward to playing? Maybe there's someone that really elevated your game, or it could be an event too. I know you guys got your Christmas tournament going on this week, so it could be an event that you always look forward to as well. But who do you think that opponent or event is that you always look forward to every single season?
Tartan. I'd say Tartan. We played them last year. And we actually won an away game at their house. We beat them. Huge game. We hadn't beat them away, and I think it was a really long time, 20 years plus, I think. So I'm really looking forward to it this year. I know they hate us. They're gonna want to beat us, and I know that we're both gonna bring our A game. So I think that's gonna be a really fun game this year.
Awesome. Last two questions then for you, John. First one is, if you could give parents or coaches 1 to 2 pieces of advice from your experiences, what would they be and why?
I'd say pay attention to the kid that has heart. You know, might not always be the best player at that moment. If you give him a source of confidence and trust that could change his life, it could push him to greater heights. And then second piece would be make sure you realize what impact words have on the kids on your team, whether it's directly or indirectly.
It's very well said. Same kind of question now for student athletes. So you're a senior right now. You're on your way out the door here at Hastings High School. So if you could talk to these younger student athletes and give them 1 to 2 pieces of advice, what would they be and why?
Start working hard early. I mean, if there's anything that I'm gonna regret, it's ninth grade year. I didn't really work as hard as I should have. I mean, I'd say just get off the video games, get ahead while you're young, because when year rolls around, there's not much time for you to start working. I mean, it really helps if you work hard earlier. And then the second piece would be making a schedule early on in life, whether it's middle school, elementary school, just making sure you know how to remain disciplined, because the higher up you go in sports and the more classes you have, it can get pretty rough. If you don't know what you're doing, you can get caught up, and it's pretty hard to get out of a cycle.
Awesome. I love both those things. So, John, that's all the questions I got for you. The last thing here is the mic is yours. Anything else you want us to talk about? Anything else I did not ask you that you want to talk about? Any shout outs you want to give? Once again, the mic is yours and you can go for it.
Um, I'd say just shout out my parents. Shout out to all the teammates I got this year. I mean, my parents have been really big in my basketball career. My dad, he helps me out at the gym. He just puts up shots with me. He's taught me a lot. And my teammates this year, I mean, it's been a crazy 4 years with COVID and everything. We've been through a lot. So I'd say just make sure that we focus on what we got going this year.
Awesome. Thanks, John.
Yeah, thank you.